Hi guys, I'm Jake Bresson with Bresson Painting. This is my son, Micah James, and he wanted to be in the video today while we go over how to properly prepare and paint fresh drywall. Now I've got this little sample sheet here of some sheetrock. So we're just going to assume that this piece of drywall here, has screws in it and it's mounted on some joists somewhere, and those screws have then been patched over with some compound mud and they've all been sanded. So we're going to assume that this is covered in dust and it needs to be painted, and it needs to be first primed and then painted. Okay, so to start with today, I've got a circle sanding tool here, and you can buy a cover for it, this nice handy cover, and you can see it's nice and dusty right now from being used to clean off new drywall. So it just attaches here, and then you pull a drawstring here in the back and it tightens on there. And this would usually be on an extension pole, which I have right here, and we would usually use an extension pole to run this all over a wall, ceilings, whatever has dust on it that needs dust removal before it can be painted. And this is really nice because it's microfiber. You can get it wet if you need to, and it dries out really quick. So since this piece of sheetrock has been outside and it's got some cobwebs and things on it, so I'm just going to dust it off here. And that's step one right there, just dusting that off. Nice and clean now, Micah. So those are our steps. We're gonna sand. Those are our steps. We're gonna make sure everything's sanded, dust it all off, and make sure it's clean and free of contaminants. And then we're ready to start applying our primer. So Micah, here's our primer that we have right here in this bucket. And for the sake of this video, I am using some tinted primer today so that you guys can see where I've primed. That's a nice color there, isn't it? Mm-hmm. What color do you think that is?
Blue.
Blue? It is. It's kind of blue. It's like a light gray. I think this is actually either a P2 or a P3 primer, and the P is it's a P shade primer that you would put on prior to painting dark colors. It helps for coverage. So I'm actually going to, for the sake of my next video that I'm going to make, I'm going to tape off one section of this sheetrock here. Alright, so I've got the section taped off that I don't want to paint. And Micah, we're going to bring this down. I'm going to push this tape down so the paint doesn't really leak through there, and it's not important if it does or not. And we'll just set this right here, and you can help Dad hold it while I run some paint over it. Alright? And I will say, folks, that after you get done sanding with your big stick sander or your circle sander, whatever kind of sander you're using, even if you're doing your whole job with little sanding blocks, whatever you're doing, if you are doing a big circle sander on your drywall, you might need to go back over it. Excuse me. You might need to go back over some areas with your little sponge sander, just to clean up some edges. Make sure everything's nice and smooth. You don't want to have any ridges that are going to create shadows on your nice new paint job. You helping hold this, buddy? All right. So I've got my little tiny roller today for our prime job, but if we were out and doing a big job, we'd obviously have a big roller. So then you just roll it on. And I'll tell you what here, if we simulate the blue tape down there being the bottom of the wall, being where it meets the floor, and up here where it meets the ceiling, when I'm rolling with a big roller, I'll start somewhere in the middle, roll up a little bit, roll down, and then I'll do all the way up and all the way down. And starting in the middle and rolling off some of the paint up and down before you do your final passes helps to kind of level the paint and spread it out a little bit so that you're not going to have ridges anywhere and uneven sheen buildup. Micah, do you want to paint a pass on here? Here, take the roller there. Okay, you got it. And I'll just hold this here and you can paint it.
Good.
There you go.
Oh yeah, Daddy, I can do it all by myself.
I'll get some more paint on there for you, buddy. Here.
Thanks.
Yep. We need to make sure that we have enough paint to cover the entire surface. Daddy's just going to cover this edge up over here.
And I'm going to cover this edge too.
And your mom would not be happy right now if she knew you were down here helping me in that nice new shirt of yours. So make sure that you're wearing the proper attire before you tackle your paint jobs. Daddy? Okay, there you go, buddy. There's some more paint. You should be able to get the rest of that area there all coated.
Uh-huh.
Can you cover that all with paint? You want to roll it up and down nice and smooth. There you go. And just let the weight of the roller do all the work. You don't want to push too hard. Just have nice even pressure. There you go. You want to hold it? I know that you're in an awkward position there, but here. You want to hold it so that you're straight onto the wall. Here, put your hand on there. We'll roll it up and down here together.
Okay, I can do it now.
Okay, now you can do it.
Woo!
There you go. All right, you guys, there you go. That's how you finish off new drywall. You know, after it's been patched and whatever, puttied in, you're going to sand it off. You're going to go over it with a duster, and then you're going to put a nice quality primer on it. And after the primer sets for, you know, depending on what kind of primer you're using, after the primer has about 12 hours to set up, you just start your top coat. Thank you guys again for watching. I hope this video helped you out.
Don't forget to subscribe. All done.